All right, team, let's get started. Let's go to attention. How do you guys feel today? Awesome, sir. Let's bow. And set position. Student creed. Student creed, sir. Line 1. I pledge to develop myself in a positive manner. Line 2. I pledge to use what I learn in class constructively and defensively. Line 3. I pledge to foster friendships and contribute to my community. And bow. All right, before we get started on warm-ups here, they're going to be, just kind of like last week, they're probably going to be a little bit different than if you're attending in-person classes. Still going to be a great workout, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. But just so you know, if you do attend class later in the week, the warm-ups will probably be different than what we're doing here online, okay? Let's go ahead and jump into our warm-ups. Our first one here, get that heart rate up. One of my favorites, we're going shadow boxing. If you got a bag, go ahead and hit to the bag. If not, hit to the air. Make sure you're keeping yourself moving. If your feet aren't planted, you're changing directions, blocking, kicking, and using not just your arms moving out, but using the strength in your muscles to make sure that those strikes look and feel real. 1 minute to start. Ready? And go. Think about all the Muay Thai stuff that you've worked on. Jabs, crosses, roundhouse kicks, maybe even elbows here or knees. Maybe you want to get some sparring stuff here. Boom. Roundhouse back knuckle punch. Side kick, back knuckle punch. Oh, yeah. Probably wouldn't throw a hook in sparring. Let's keep moving it when we're halfway through. Keep it up, everyone. We got 5 more seconds. And break. All right, everyone, let's break fall. We're going to start off here. We've got some rope pull-ups. We're going 45 seconds. Ready, set, and if you haven't done these before, it's like a sit-up. You're going to reach up, grab an imaginary rope, and pull it down. Ready, set, and go. I like to switch hands and reach up first every time. Right, left, left, right. Right, left, you get the idea, all right? We're 1/3 of the way in, already 15 seconds. That means we only have 30 seconds left. Really reach for this. Don't settle for just a little. Try and get yourself nice and high up. We got 20 more seconds. And as always, right, remember to breathe as we exercise. 10 seconds left. Oh yeah. And break. Next up, we've got some lunges. We're going 20 seconds on either side, or if you'd like, you can alternate between the sides. Either one works. Remember with a lunge, as you step, you just want to make sure that this front knee doesn't go past your front toes. Trying to get that knee above the ankle. And finally, this back knee, try not to let it slam into the ground, right? You can tap the ground if you'd like to, but try to not rest it down, right? 40 seconds. Ready? And begin. I'm going to go ahead and alternate here, just switching which leg is in front and trying to control the descent there so that I'm going nice and slow. Gives us a little extra time under tension there where it's really working the muscles throughout the time. It looks like we're about 15 seconds in. We're approaching the halfway point. We are halfway there. If you're doing one side, switch to the other. If you're alternating, keep alternating. There we go. 30 seconds in, we got 10 seconds left. Oh yeah. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and break. Let's go ahead and do our final warm-up here. Bumper push-up. So let's go push-up position. Again, it's gonna be 45 seconds. And as always, I'm gonna have one hand with the knuckles down. You do not have to do that. I'm still making sure this wrist stays safe. So for bumper push-ups, you start in a push-up position, drop yourself down gently to your forearms, and then come back up to your hands. Down to the forearms, back up to the hands, all right? We're gonna be doing that again, keeping it simple, 45 seconds. Ready, and go. The more controlled you are in this process, the better. And make sure you bring your hand up off the ground each time. We're trying to avoid the kind of wave thing where it's, never bringing my hands up. Set it down, set it down. There we go. 20 seconds in, we got 25 left. Just like before, remember to keep breathing, everyone. It's easier to forget with ab exercises when you're trying to keep your abs tight, but still can happen when you're doing these. 3, 2, 1, finish this one, and break. Nice work on those bumper push-ups, guys. I want you to go ahead and start stretching on your own. We're gonna go over our message of the week. Hey guys, so our message of the week this week is a real old one we haven't done in a long time. It's one of Guru's life messages. The message is, life is like a river, never reversing course, we're always moving forwards. And so as we travel through life and we travel down this river, we don't necessarily have control over all of the things that happen, right? I can't just decide, I'm gonna paddle upstream and be able to do that successfully, or I'm gonna take a sharp 90-degree turn onto land here, it's not gonna work too well for me, right? So I'm moving down this river and I do have a little bit of control of, am I going to try and dodge away from this rock? Am I gonna try and avoid this situation in life? But it's good to understand and know that, hey, it's always going to be moving forwards, right? We're always moving on to the next chapter of our lives. And we cannot control that. We can't stop time, we can't stop this river. So even though it's not changing directions, it's continually moving forward, and we need to be ready to adapt and grow with life as this river takes us through our life. So again, life is like a river, never reversing course, always moving forwards. All right, team, this module we get to work on some kicks, and boy, am I excited. I love kicking on the martial arts, whether it's sparring or traditional kicks. So we actually get to work on the jump, turn, back kick this module. Again, the jump, turn, back kick, which has actually been one of my favorite ones to do in a workout, whether it's after a roundhouse kick or just by itself. It gets you moving, you can still really think about the technique of it, and can hit with some good power too. So without any pun here, let's jump ahead. So if we break down that jump, turn, back kick, we're gonna have to know how to do a couple things. We're gonna have to know how to do a back kick. We're gonna have to know how to turn. We're gonna have to know how to jump. All right, so let's build off this super quick, all right? First one, super basic version, what's the back kick? Well, hey, let's say I'm kicking towards this wall behind me. First thing, I need to look over a shoulder. I'm gonna kick with the same side. So since I looked over this shoulder here, I'm gonna kick with this leg. So I look, pick my knee up in front, kick straight back, re-chamber, and set it down. Simple, right? One more time. Look, chamber, kick, re-chamber, set it down. Now, the turn back kick just adds one small step to it. Let's say again that I'm kicking with my right foot. So this one here, and I'm still kicking towards that orange wall. I'm gonna put that foot behind me. I start on my ready stance. I'm gonna turn and spot my target. So I'm looking over this right shoulder because I'm kicking with my right foot. And then kick straight back, trying to keep my knees close throughout the whole kick. And I'm gonna set it down here in front. One more time, ready stance, turn, look over my back shoulder, and kick. There we go. Now let's do our jump, turn, back kick. Don't worry, we are gonna spend a lot more time on this kick and the kind of the process of it than I did with those previous two, the regular back kick and the turn back kick. I wanted to get through those quick to make sure we have a good understanding of where we're at, and then we can build off of that. So, jump, turn, back kick. Let me give you a demonstration first, and then we'll go over the actual kick itself. All right, so step one here, we're not actually gonna kick at all, right? I'm gonna start my ready stance. Now I'm gonna do that same turn look that I did before. And if you do this with me, you probably feel your hips winding up. They start to feel kind of tight at this point. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump off both feet at the same time, and let's see what happens, all right? So I turn and spot, jump off both feet, and my legs start to unwind there. Try it out with me, okay? Ready stance, turn and spot, make sure both knees are bent here, and jump off both feet. Ready? Don't try and kick, just jump straight up. 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, let's check that out. Let's go ahead and do that 2 more times, guys, all right? So from this ready stance, turn and spot, make sure you feel that wind in the hips, and then jump straight up. Good, one more time. And you'll notice that the kicking leg is actually rotating the direction we want it to go. Turn and spot, and jump. Awesome. All right, let's kick towards this orange wall now, okay? I'll be doing the same direction as you. I'm gonna be kicking with my right leg. If you'd like to kick with your right leg, it might make it a little easier to follow along. Let's say again, kicking this wall here. I'm gonna start in my right side stance, that way my right leg can kick. Nice, easy way to remember it. I'm gonna turn around and spot my target. So, look over this shoulder, my right leg shoulder, until, there we go, I see my target. Now, as much as we want to, our body screams, hey, jump off one foot and kick. It's more often than not going to throw us off balance. So, I'm gonna turn and spot. I'm gonna jump off both feet. And as I jump up, I can let my right leg here rotate naturally like it did before, and then I'm gonna kick. Now, first couple times, let's kick nice and low. Ready? Turn and spot. I'm gonna jump and just kick down to the ground. There we go. Check it out from a different direction here. Let's say I'm kicking this way. Turn, spot, and I'm not trying to jump very high. I'm just trying to get used to the motion. Again, ready? I'm gonna do it towards this wall. We turn and spot, jump off both feet, and kick with our right leg. The more I do this, the more I'm gonna get used to the motion. Focusing again on jumping off both feet. And I can start to wait a little bit longer into my jump before I kick, and I can start to kick a little higher and higher. Turn, spot, jump and kick. If you find your toes starting to point sideways a lot, that means as you jump, your knees are starting to separate a lot. Try and make sure they stay close. Let me fix my balance there. Make sure they stay nice and close, and that way the toes will continue to point down, making sure this is the jump, turn, back kick, and not the jump, turn, side kick. All right? Let's go about 30 seconds here just doing a couple of jump, turn, back kicks. So I brought my good friend Versus out here. He's got his name written right down there on the bottom. And I'm going to be kicking towards Versus today. If you've got a bag you want to kick, awesome. If you want to continue to kick to the air, awesome as well. All right? So 30 seconds here, getting some kicks to my good friend Versus. Ready, set, and let's go. Again, starting low. Just trying to get used to the motion. If this is a new bag for me too, then I want to make sure that I'm not overdoing it right at the beginning. Turn, spot. I notice as I get more used to it, I'm going to kick a little bit higher. I can jump a little bit higher, and I can kick with a little more speed. Sometimes, right, I still may not do my best, but I'm working it up. Last one, best one. Excellent work with just that jump, turn, back kick there. It's going to be fun building off this and just kind of working on it, making sure we get a little more comfortable in the air. Let's go ahead and get into our senkotiros work next. All right, so we're building off what we worked on last module. This week, we're going to get through all 5 strikes and all 5 blocks in senkotiros. So, with a lot to work on, let's jump right into it. We're going to speed through angles 1 through 3 pretty quickly here. We'll talk about 4 and 5 a little bit, and then I want to get into the block. So, angle 1 strike. Remember, you got the stick up in front of you, and you're always holding on with all 5 fingers. The pinky and the ring finger can relax a little bit, but they should never let go. Angle 1 was this horizontal strike. Remember, we're keeping our 90-degree angle between our arm and the stick. 2, diagonal down, and 3, diagonal up. Now for 4, this is more of a cutting motion. And I try to avoid using the word stab because I'm not just going to go in and back out, but instead stab into one side, cut through the other, and I bring it back out. All right? So first, palm down, stab into one side here. We're going to cut through and bring it back. Flip it over, palm up. Same thing, other side. I'm cutting through, kind of that circular motion. So angle 4, forehand, backhand. Finally, angle 5 is the flick of the wrist. So I'm going to bring it across my body, flick the wrist, and I can hit to the top of the head that way. There are a couple different ones. There's the abanico, up here the fan, and loop tick. We'll talk about those a little bit more in the future, but for us right now, the tick, right here, flick, hit to the top of the head. One more time all the way through. 1, 2, 3, up. 4 is a cutting. And then 5. Flick of the wrist. Awesome. Now that we've worked on those, let's talk about the 5 blocks. The most important thing to know when we're working on these blocks is the best way to block a strike is by making a plus sign, by making a cross, a T, an X with our stick and our opponent's stick, or our partner's stick. Meaning that, let's say this arm was a stick and here's the stick, right? I don't want to try and block this where they're parallel to each other. I don't want to try and block the strike with the tip of the stick. I would want to block here where it makes that plus sign, that T, okay? So if our angle 1 is a horizontal strike, well, we want our stick to be vertical to block it. When they strike from one side, I'm going to keep my stick up and I'm going to absorb the strike here, just kind of cushioning it in. I don't want to fight it, but kind of like if I'm catching a football, I'd grab and try and pull it in, or the baseball, I'm not sticking the glove out, but instead I can catch and I can kind of pull in with, right? So make sure that our angle 1 block cushions in, and same thing other side, cushion it in. Angle 2, it comes down at an angle. We're going to have our stick angled as well. I'm going to take my hand, raise it up, and drop the tip of the stick to one side. That way if they're blocking from over here, I'll be ready. I get my other hand as a brace, and again, I'm going to cushion the strike. I'm going to do that with my legs for that one, or if my arms are up a little higher, I can cushion it in that way. The other angle 2, I'm just going to flip the tip of the stick all the way to the other side. There we go. And now, ooh, I need a brace for this, right? I'm going to take this hand, I'm going to stick it right through the middle here, and look at that, I've got a brace. I've kind of got like a little window here that I'm peeking out of, and I'm going to drop my stance a little bit to cushion the strike. So we had angle 1 and 1. I've got angle 2 and angle 2. Now angle 3 is nice and easy. We're going to use an angle 3 strike. We're going to fight fire with fire. When they try and strike rising up, I'm going to do the same thing. When they strike from the other side, same thing. I'm doing an angle 3 strike, to fight their angle 3 strike. Make sense? Hopefully it does. All right, let's talk about 4 and then 5. So the technical way to block angle 4, remember this is that cutting strike. We're actually going to have to move our stick. We can't just put it in one spot. The technical way to do this, I'm going to take the tip of the stick and I'm going to put it down. This is for a forehand strike, so if they're right-handed, they'd be striking me from my left side. I'm going to take my stick and instead of just putting it out in front of me, I'm going to imagine like I'm a witch and I'm stirring a cauldron here. Across and out. And so if they're striking from over here, I want to push the stick that direction too. If they're striking on the other side, just like my angle 2 block, I'm going to flip the entire stick. Ready? Tip of the stick flips over. This one, it gets the wrist. You got to make sure you're nice and flexible with it. My live hand here, and I'm going to push the other direction. So 4. Remember again, we're stirring, and 4. Now finally, angle 5, they've got that flick of the wrist, the witik, is going to aim to the top of my head. I'm going to take my stick, bring it up above my head, and my live hand is going to be open here. Well, let me bring that down and make sure you can see it. I'm going to keep it open. If I have it closed, that doubles the chance that they hit. So keep it open, and this live hand, again, I'll step back for you so you can see a little better. I'm going to use that one a little bit lower than the stick hand here. That way when they strike, it can slide down and off my stick. Again, all 5, ready? Angle 1, here and here. Angle 2. Angle 3, fighting fire with fire. Strike and strike. Angle 4, we have to stir the cauldron here. Flip it over, other side. And then angle 5, up top, again, making sure that my live hand is open. Awesome work with those 5 strikes, guys, and those 5 blocks. That's what we got for senkotiros this week. Practice, practice, practice as much as you can. The more comfortable you are holding the stick and moving around with it, the better you'll be at it. Awesome job, everyone. Real quick announcements, everybody. We are still running with classes inside. It's been a blast, and we're going to continue having the outdoor classes as well as these online courses as well, where you can stay caught up with what we're working on in the school and continue to progress. Other than that, we are still working with our social distance camp, so if that is something you are interested in, please send a message to Sifu Dan. He can help get you signed up for that. But that is it, everybody. Great work today. Keep working on that stick work. Keep working on those kicks. And let's keep having fun training. Let's come to attention, and let's bow out. Class dismissed.